Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 1 math. So you can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 1 and then click on view all lessons. So there you can find a list of the chapters. So we're going to start with the chapter counting and number patterns. And the lessons we're going to cover from the chapter are counting review with shapes, counting tens and ones up to 20, counting with complex shapes. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. So let's just start with the first lesson, that is counting review with shapes. So that is just a review for the lessons we did in the last session. So have you done with your homework? I've told you to, I've asked you to complete the practice questions for the lessons we did in the last session as a homework. So have you done with your homework? If you are done with the homework, then you can do the counting review with shapes, right? Because that's just the review for the lessons we did in the last session. So what we did in the last session, we're working on the frame. Here is the frame, and in the frame you have just, okay, that is a frame of 10, right? You have to count, okay, how many triangles are there in the frame? You just have to count the triangles in the shape, right? Let's just count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So there are 5 triangles in the shape, in the frame, right? So there are 5 triangles in the frame, right? Let's just do another example. If you already know the answers, you can please write down the answers in the chat box. Okay, how many circles do we have in the frame? Which is the correct option? You have to count the circles in the frame, right? So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 7 circles in the frame, right? So let's just start with the practice questions we can do from the A plus session. So let's just go to A plus. Okay, we are on grade 1 math. The lesson is counting and number patterns. So let's just start with the lesson, that is counting review with shapes. So basic thing is you have to count the shapes. Let's just start with the practice questions. Okay, how many shapes are on the frame? You have to count the shapes. So how many shapes? Just count them and write the answer in the chat box if you already know the answer. So just count them. There are 1, 2. There are only 2 shapes in the frame, right? So the correct option is 2, right? How many shapes are on the frame? You have to count the shapes. So how many shapes do we have? There are 1, 2, 3. So how many shapes? Yes, very good. There are 3 shapes in the frame. The correct option is 3. So there are only 3 shapes. The correct option is 3, right? Okay, how many dots are on the frame? So which is the correct option? You have to count the dots. So how many dots? Just count them and write the answer in the chat box if you already know the answers. Okay, let's just count them, right? So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So that means there are only 5 circles in the frame. So the correct option is 5. Just select the correct option and then click on the OK button. How many shapes are on the frame? So which is the correct option? There are 1, 2, 3, and 4 shapes on the frame, right? Yes, very good. So the correct option is 4. There are 4 shapes on the frame. The correct option is 4. How many triangles are on the frame? Which is the correct option? Yes, very good. There are only 2 triangles on the frame. The correct option is 2. How many dots are on the frame? So which is the correct option? Yes, very good. There are only 3 dots on the frame. The correct option is 3. Very good. How many shapes are on the frame? Which is the correct option? You can count and write the answer in the chat box. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 shapes, right? The correct option is very good. That is 5. There are 5 shapes on the frame. How many triangles are on the frame? Which is the correct option? The correct option is, yes, very good. That is only one triangle. So the correct option is 1. How many triangles are on the frame? Which is the correct option? Yes, the correct option is, there are only 3 triangles. The correct option is 3, right? How many squares are on the frame? Yes, that is only, there are only 2 squares. Very good. The correct option is 2. How many shapes are on the frame? There are only 1, 2, 3, 4, and yes, very good. There are only 5 shapes. So the correct option is 5, right? How many dots are on the frame? Yes, there are. Very good. There are only 4 dots on the frame. So the correct option is 4. How many shapes are on the frame? Yes, there are only, very good, 3 shapes. We have, the correct option is 3, right? How many dots are on the frame? Yes, there are only 2 dots on the frame. The correct option is, very good, 2 it is. How many triangles are on the frame? So which is the correct option? You have to count the triangles. So just count and write the answer in the chat box. Yes, there are only 5 triangles. So the correct option is 5, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So if you need more help with the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday, 5 to 9, right? Okay. The next lesson we are going to do is counting tens and ones up to 20, right? So what you have to do, let me just explain, then we'll do the practice questions, okay? Okay, you are given dots. You have to count them, right? For example, here it is. Let me just draw them. Okay, you have to count first, you have to count the dots, right? Let's just count together, okay? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 dots, right? So there are 12 dots. Now you have to write the number is 12. You have to see how many tens we have and then how many ones we have, right? Okay, let's just a bit make things bit clear. Hold on. This is a frame of 10, right? You have 10 dots here and then you have two other dots, right? So together they make 12 dots, right? They are 11 and 12. You have to see how many tens and how many ones do we have in the number 12, right? So when you look for the tens and ones, just look at the frame. The frame is for 10, right? That means you have one tens because you just have one frame, one single frame for 10 dots, and then you have two other dots, so the two are the ones. So you have one tens and two ones, right? The basic thing is 12. The rightmost digit is always at the ones position, and 12 one is at the tens position, right? 2 is at the ones and 1 is at the tens position, right? Okay, let's just do another example. Okay, we have a frame of 10 blocks and some more dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so you have to count them, right? This is the frame of 10, 10 dots. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You have total 17 dots, right? So how many tens we have? Only one 10 because we have one frame of 10 blocks, right? And seven ones, right? That means whenever you write 17, 7 is at the ones position. The rightmost digit is always the ones digit, and 1 is at the tens position, right? So there are one tens and seven ones. Sorry, seven ones and one ten, right? Okay, let's just start with the practice questions. Let's just go to the lesson counting tens and ones and start with the test questions, right? Okay, count the dots. How many dots do we have? Just count and write the answer in the chat box. How many dots do we have? 1, 2, 3. You have just 3 dots, right? So, which is the position of 3? 3 is at the tens or ones? Which is the correct option? 3 is you don't have any other digit on the right and left of 3, right? 3 is the only one digit. That means 3 is at the ones position, right? So you have 0 tens, no tens we have, and 3 ones, right? You have 0 tens and 3 ones. Got it? So the correct option is option number 1. We have 0 tens and 3 ones. Okay, count the dots. How many dots do we have? Just count them. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 dots. We have 7 dots, right? So, how many tens do we have? How many tens and how many ones? You have only 7, right? And when you have no, you have only one digit number, that would be at the ones place. So you have no tens, you have 0 tens and 7 ones, right? The correct option is 0 tens and 7 ones, right? That is option number 2 is the correct option, right? Because you have 0 tens and 7 ones, so that would be the second option, right? Okay, count the dots. How many dots do we have? Only one dot we have, right? So you have one digit, only one digit word, that is one digit number, that is 1, right? That means you have only one ones. You have no tens, 0 tens and 1 ones, right? So which option is the correct one? 0 tens and 1 ones. That would be option number 1 is the correct option. Very good. How many, count the dots. So which is the correct option? Let's just count the dots, right? There are 16 dots, right? Okay, now you have to see how many tens and how many ones we have, right? So the rightmost digit is always at the ones position. So you have 6 ones and 1 tens. So it would be 1 tens and 6 ones, right? So which option is the correct one? 1, 2, 3, 4. Just write the option number. Which is the correct option? The correct option is option number 3 is the correct option, right? 1 tens and 6 ones is the correct option. Very good. Okay, count the dots. So you have 8 dots, right? So which option is the correct one? How many tens and how many ones do we have? You have only 8, right? That means you have only 8 ones, right? Which is the correct option? You have only 8 ones, no tens, 0 tens and 8 ones. The correct option is option number 3 is the correct option. right? 0 tens and 8 ones. Count the dots, which is the correct option. There are only 6 dots, right? So that means you have 6 is a one digit number. When you have a one digit number, you have no tens, only ones. So you have 6 ones, right? The correct option is 0 tens and 6 ones. So which option is the correct one? The last one, right? 0 tens and 6 ones. That is the correct option. Count the dots, which is the correct option. You have no tens, right? Only 4 dots you have. That means you have 0 tens and 4 ones, right? The correct option is 0 tens and 4 ones. Count the dots, which is the correct option. So there are 13 dots, right? How many tens and how many ones? 13. 13 is a two digit number, right? So the rightmost digit is always the digit that is at the ones position, right? And the next one is the digit that is at the tens position. That means you have 1 tens and 3 ones. Very good. Which is the correct option? 1 tens and 3 ones. Option number 1 is the correct option, right? Very good. Count the dots. So there are 17 dots, right? So how many tens and how many ones? Yes, there are 1 tens and 7 ones. 1 tens and 7 ones. So which is the correct option? Very good. That would be option number 3, 1 tens and 7 ones. Okay. Count the dots. So which is the correct option? The correct option is you have 9 dots, right? And 9 is at the ones position. So the correct option is you have no tens. So it is 0 tens and 9 ones, right? So last option is the correct one, 0 tens and 9 ones. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let's just start with the next lesson, and the next lesson is counting with complex shapes, right? Okay, let's just see which complex shapes we have. Okay, how let's just start with the test questions. You just have to count the things, right? How many shapes are on the frame? Yes, there are 5 shapes. The correct option is 5. You just have to count and write the answer in the chat box, right? There are only 5 shapes. How many dots are on the frame? Which is the correct option? So which is the correct option? Very good. There is only one dot. The correct option is 1. How many hearts are on the frame? So which is the correct option? You have to count the hearts, right? There are only, yes, there are only 4 hearts. The correct option is 4. How many hearts are on the frame? So which is the correct option? Yes, there are only 3 hearts. The correct option is 3. How many dots are on the frame? So which is the correct option? Yes, there are only one frame. The one dot. The correct option is 1. How many triangles are on the frame? Which is the correct option? The correct option is, yes, very good. There are only 5 triangles. The correct option is 5. How many squares are on the frame? Yes, there are only 3 squares. The correct option is 3. How many shapes are on the frame? Which is the correct option? Third, you 3 you just have to count, right? So there are only 4 shapes. The correct option is 4. How many triangles are on the frame? Which is the correct option? Yes, there are 3 triangles. The correct option is 3. How many stars are on the frame? Yes, there are only 1, 2, 3, 5 stars. The correct option is 5, right? How many dots are on the frame? Which is the correct option? Yes, there are 4 dots. The correct option is 4, right? So we are done with the lesson. So we are done with the lesson, and also we are done with the chapter 1, counting in number patterns. We are done with the chapter. So that's your homework to complete the all 3 lessons we did today. There are counting review with shapes, counting tens and ones up to 20, and counting with complex shapes. Also, when you have completed all the lessons, you will find the final test of the chapter, right? You have to do the final test of the chapter on your own. This is your homework, right? So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday, 5 to 9, right? If you have any question, you can ask. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. So please ask. I'm waiting for the questions from your side. So please ask if you have any question. No questions? Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye, everyone.